Hi guys, welcome to the next part. Um, we've been improving on our setup slowly, made many changes. I've done a few laps on the previous setup from the previous part I recorded for you, and my best lap time looking at this I think is a 1:31.1 from looks of it. I just wanted to show you the ride height because if you remember we didn't get the correct reading from the previous one because of the outlap, so we're just gonna go with this. Here we are. As you can see, I've got the rake down to 0.71. I've not made any changes from the previous run that we did. We're still on the same setup. I've been doing some trial runs and I've actually gone quicker, and we're on a 131.141 currently. I remember, if you remember, my target was a 130.5, so we still got half a second to find. But I'm relatively happy with this current setup at this moment in time. I'm still getting some lockups again because I've been pushing very hard, so I can make some changes there. If we just look at the heavy braking point is here. So if I go here, just zoom in. So I'm still getting rear wheel locking more than the fronts, be it when the differential is unlocking. So there's a few changes I can make on there. And again, if you look at the on throttle, I'm struggling, but this is a very tricky part for me, and I struggle to get onto the power quick enough. And there you see the difference. It's the difference between the two rear wheels. So we're going to work on that. And again, the diff is opening up a bit, so that can still be tweaked. That can be tweaked. Okay, if you look at race engineer, a little bit of understeer on turn one, turn two, which is there. Okay, and I know why that is, because if I go back to, if I look at this lap here, yeah, we're getting on turn two as well. Are we getting, I'm sorry, on lap 22, are we getting on lap 21? No. Look at this one. Oversteer. Okay, so that's more driving error. More driver error. It's not happening all the time. Turn 8. Oversteer. And turn 11. Understeer. But were we getting it on this lap here? No. So if you look at lap 22, I only had one instance of understeer on turn 2. We're going to work on that a bit. So what we're going to do, and that's mechanical grip, because if you look at track, and we've got it to 3.99 now. So we're touching 4. Here we are. So all this yellow part is mechanical grip, so that's slow. Mechanical here again, mechanical there. So that what's going to influence that? Mainly springs. Okay, so we need to work on springs. We can't work on dampers in Formula F1 2019, so we need to work on springs and a little bit of anti-roll bar as well. But majority is high speed. We can gain so much more time on high speed corners compared to low speed, because 39.9% of the time we're going through high speed corners. So we need to work on aero more than we need to do work on mechanical, and we need to favor more aero as opposed to mechanical gear, because that's where you're going to gain most of your time. So going back into here, sorry, 1 second. You just need to have a look at. So I don't think I'd want to change the brake pressure, but I definitely need to look at my brake bias. I'm only on the brake a little bit there, but even there, my rears are really locking up. Okay. So let's take this a bit more to the front. And that's going to cause me to lock up my fronts a bit more, but I'm just going to reduce that brake pressure slightly. Keep it at 75-60, see how we get on. I'm not going to change that for now. Now, anti-roll bars I've not touched so far, but I have been playing around with this, and I'm getting a bit of understeer in slow corners, so we're going to just increase that rear slightly. stiffness, rear stiffness. So because the fronts are a little bit softer than the rears, we should get a little bit of oversteer to help us turn in a little bit more. See if that helps. If not, then we'll be looking at transmission off throttle for corner entry. Let's see how this is. That's not worked. It's not liking that at all. Okay, we're going to go back into the guide. I don't like that. There's a few things I need to tweak that I'm not really making most of. One is the tires. I'm braking traction too quickly on the rear. So I'm just going to drop that PSI a bit on there. And I'm going to increase the stiffness of the suspension by 1 on each axle. Very good exit there. Lost a bit of time.
Lap was a 1:30.9.
Into the 130s. So guys, if you look at that now, if we go back in, when we first started, we were on a 132.5. I think our target lap at that time, which was my personal best from previous, was probably around the 131.3, I think, if I remember correctly, 131.2 maybe. I'll have to double check. But from a 132.5, which with a setup, I did my personal best maybe 6-7 months ago, and I was not comfortable with it at all, to a 130.899. Okay, and if you look the lockouts are relatively good. I'm not okay on the last section. I am. Is that near the hairpin? Let's have a look. That's on the last turn. Yeah, not just after the hairpin. A bit of a lockup there, but otherwise, I'm relatively happy with that. That's on the load transfer. Okay. And if you look at the track, let's see what kind of G's we're pulling. There we go, four G's. Brilliant. So we've improved it from 3.9 to 4.0. And my high speed corner and low speed corner has increased as well by doing that. Okay, look at aero. Let's have a look at the rake on the main straight before the hairpin, just before braking before the hairpin. 1.45, brilliant. That's so much more stable the car is now. It's a lot more better to drive. If you look at the total downforce we're pulling now, so probably pulling, if we go onto a fast section like this over here, so here we're keeping our speed stable, acceleration is stable, we're not increasing or decreasing, keeping stable, and we're pulling, so around here. So if I go on to here, we're pulling downforce, total downforce 12,139, and that's a timed cursor of 35.08 compared to probably around the same place there. If you look here, that's very good analysis there. If you look at this bit here, and this is where the telemetry really helps. If you look at your speed cursor, here, this part you're increasing, you're on throttle, you're increasing, then you're braking, lift off slightly off the brake, and then braking a bit more, and so on and so forth. As you go, acceleration all the way is increasing, speed is increasing, and then you drop, that's braking. And here, now this is a fast section. My speed should be actually either stable or increasing, but not decreasing. I'm having to lift off here. I'm having to lift off because I'm going out towards the outside of the corner. I'm losing traction. So that's not good. And my downforce here is showing 10,858. And if we look at my last lap, my last best lap, total downforce 12. So I've increased it by considerably, nearly 2,000 newtons. Okay, so that's a lot better compared to our initial setup. So the front we're pulling 3.8 and rear we're pulling 6.9, whereas now 3.8 and 6.9, just remember that. And if you go back here, 4.476, and that's what the difference. COP, center of pressure, is good. Center of pressure at that around 6 is very good. So overall, I'm very happy with that setup, and I hope you've enjoyed this last part. It's not the final part yet. We still got fine tuning to do. I will be coming online again and showing a few bits and parts how we can improve. But up until now, if you look, turn 2, I'm still getting a bit of understeer, and the last turn oversteer. But otherwise, everything else is clean. Brilliant. So it's made a massive difference, that setup change. Looking at the run tab, grip, I mean, we've been changing the setup, so it's difficult to say, but towards the end, look how much grip we're generating around here. 4. Can you see? Compared to here. So that's where the line for 4 is, and we hit 4 here as well, but this is the setup we really work, that's worked for us. And I've not even played with the camber and toes. I believe if I play with that, I'll be able to gain a few more tenths, and we should be able to hit our mark of 130.5. So we're not far off, 3 tenths off. Hopefully we'll get that in the next installment. Right guys, I've done a bit more practice, and I've actually improved my time to 130.761. So that's a massive improvement. I'm still 2/10 off my target, but I'm relatively happy with that. The only tweak I did, so if you look at myself, still got 4 wings. Transmission, I've increased it to 75 on throttle. I've left the off throttle at 73. Suspension geometry, I've not played with that yet. I've not done the front toe and rear toe. I think I could tweak that a little bit. I'll do that in the next installment. Suspension, I think it was 4.4. I've left it at 4.4, but I've reduced the anti-roll by tested it with 5.5 and actually it went the opposite way. So I tried, and initially it was 4.4, so I've reduced it to 3.3. I've made it a bit softer, and I've actually improved my time. I've gained time at least by another 1/10 or so. And I've left my ride height as it is, 5.8. Brakes and brake bias, I've left it as it is. Tires, I've left that as it is. Let's just quickly save that, and thank you very much for watching.